time when you're drifting, comes a time when you settle down. Yeah, we're gonna do Neil Young's Comes a Time. This is a channel about doing acoustic solo songs, so in English. So of course we're doing Neil Young. I've only done, I think, 2 songs by Neil Young so far. I love Comes a Time. It is not one of his most popular songs, I suppose. Came out in 1978. I remember. I'll tell you about that later. Anyway, it's an easy song to do. So I'm going to call this easy. Let's take a look at my performance, and then I'll come back and show you how it's done. Comes a time when you're drifting, comes a time when you settle down, comes a light, feelings lifting, lift that baby right up off the ground. Whoa, this old world keeps spinning round. It's a wonder tall trees ain't laying down. There comes a time you and I, we were captured, took our souls and we flew away. We were right, we were giving, that's how we kept what we gave away. Whoa, this old world keeps spinning round. It's a wonder tall trees ain't laying down. There comes a time whoa, this old world keeps spinning round. It's a wonder tall trees ain't laying down. There comes a time, comes a time. Well, as I said, Comes a Time is an easy song to do. It's the only thing that's a little bit difficult about it potentially is the rhythm of it, because at least in this particular arrangement of it, I'm going back and forth between kind of emphasizing the downbeats and emphasizing the upbeats between the verse and the chorus. I'd point out that in the original performance, on the original album, Neil Young does it way more countrified than I do. It's a pretty country kind of song, but let's take a look, right? So we're playing off the G. We're flat picking a little bit, right? Just hitting that bass. Comes a time, then we have a B minor. When you're drifting, D. Comes a time. Now here, I'm picking up a little bit from what Neil Young did on the bass on the original recording. I'm walking down the bass, right? I'm off a D, walking from the C down to an A minor, then back to the C. Right, so it ends up. Comes a time when you settle down, and just hammering on that E, back to the G, right? And then repeating that. Now then we get to the pre-chorus. Well, actually it is the chorus, right? Now notice the emphasis is a little bit different here, right? Instead of having that kind of swingy thing, you're F, C, G, right? C, G. Then we have a D minor 7. I actually just play that little D minor 7 over here. Be very careful you don't hit the A. It works. There is an A in a D minor 7. I like having the D in the bass, right? That's honestly pretty much the entire song. There's a little instrumental interlude where I basically just play the chords over the verse. It's a very simple song, and I think that the instrumental can be really simple as well. I'll add a little bit of flat picking stuff, playing around between the D sus 2 4, and then sometimes coming up and hitting the A over here, and playing around a little bit more on the flat picking on the C, stuff like that. But that's pretty much it. And I think that suffices. So hopefully you'll do that song. It's a great song. I performed it since 1978. I loved that song when it came out. I remember I was in a big Neil Young phase in 1978. I was 14 years old. I had stopped playing serious classical maybe 4 years. No, that would have been 2 years before, and had really gotten into, kind of people who performed with acoustic guitars: Neil Young, James Taylor, Jim Croce, Paul Simon. And I had bought Neil Young's album Decade, which is kind of a greatest hits. If you don't know Decade, it was such a fantastic album because he wrote little liner notes on absolutely all the songs. And I didn't really have enough money to buy all the different albums. And Decade was a triple album with all these liner notes talking about where Neil was talking about how he came up with these songs. And Comes a Time came out just after that, off the album of the same name in 1978. Decade came out in 76. And man, I just thought, wow, this guy just keeps on doing these great songs. So it's a wonderful song. It goes over well. I hope you like that. If you did, then please do hit that thumbs up. Give me a like. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the notifications. You'll see all the new videos that come out with great songs that you can do, busking, on gigs, sitting around a campfire, whatever. In the meantime, rock on.